All right, so at this point, what we're going to do is I'm just going to kind of flesh this out a little bit more. I'm not going to get too carried away with details. I just, mostly what I want is this, because if I were to take this character right now, and if we were to subdivide it, what you're going to notice is that, let me get this out of the way. If I go to poly smooth it, you're going to see that, see how it's kind of dense here, but then these big, long areas, right? And then it's like denser in some areas. So what I want to do is just make it so it's more even. So what I'm going to do is, we'll just get rid of that. I'm just going to basically add edge loops and then just like, the shoulders are way off, things like that. So let's go to multi-cut tool and I'll put one here, and I'm going to undo. I'm going to put symmetry back on. All right, so here, maybe here, and here. Just trying to make it even, if that makes sense. It might make sense to actually just go ahead and do like something like this. And then we'll just push this back a little bit so it's a little more calf-like. And then we'll take this. And we'll just make this overall a little bit bigger, but push it forward a little bit. There we go. And then this will be bigger this way, right? And then this will be wider that way, we'll say. Take this one, also make a little bit wider. And then we'll, I'm just going to, whatever with the shoulders here. You see his shoulders are a little bit low, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and grab these two. I'm going to do B for soft select. Just B, click and drag. All right. And we'll go like that. And then I'm just going to kind of pull this up. And let's bring that back. All right. We'll just go like that. And we're just going to kind of try to just flesh this out a little. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just trying to get something together here. So, all right. And for whatever reason, oh, maybe that is symmetrical. It looks like not symmetrical for some reason. Okay. And then we'll just add some more edge loops in here as well. So I'm just gonna, let me put one. We'll just put one in the middle. It's probably fine. Like so. All right. And then I really think I'll put one here too. And then we'll put some for the head as well. I'm not gonna be too worried about the face at the moment, just because we will work on that more in depth later. But I do want to just make sure that it's somewhat even. So another thing we can do just to kind of spread the love a little bit, just because you can see like it looks very flat here, and it looks dense, and then whatever up here. So I could move these points around and stuff. I mostly have all the things I need, because we're just going to use this as a base to sculpt up off of. So it's not like hugely important. But one thing I want to do is just make sure it's a clean model. So we're just going to go to mesh, and we're going to go to cleanup, and I'm going to hit the option box, and we just want to check these things. So clean up matching polygons. If you do selecting matching polygons, what it's going to do is it's going to show you where they are. Let's start with that first so I can show you what that does. Then what we want to do is fix by tessellation. We don't want to do four-sided faces. These are mostly four-sided. Faces with more than four sides. So that means n-gons, right? 5 or more. Concave faces, I'm not really worried about. Faces with holes, sure. Non-planar faces, we don't need. Remove geometry. So I'm going to remove lamina faces. That's when you have a face that's on top of another face. And non-manifold geometry. That basically means it's like bad geometry where it doesn't, it means it won't unfold. Like imagine, like you have, like I have this arm here. Imagine inside of the arm there was a face that was also inside that went straight across. That would be non-manifold, or one example of it anyway. Okay, so we'll hit apply, and it's going to highlight where there's issues. See, right here. So I'm not exactly sure what those issues are that it's seeing, but let's, instead of do that, let's just, let's hit B, turn that off. So it's saying these spots here. And these actually, I wonder if they're non-manifold. I wonder why I'm getting weird issues there. But let's go ahead and just do cleanup. And I'm just going to have it selected. And then we'll hit apply. And I'm not seeing anything in particular down there that's causing any issues. So let's hit 3. And then I'm just going to, we're going to turn wireframe unshaded off. And I'm just going to inspect and look for any weird errors. Like things that like are unzipped or incongruent faces. So this looks mostly smooth. Okay, I'll hit back to 1. We'll say that's good. Now what I'm going to do is go to sculpting, and then I want to use this relax. So I'm going to select relax. Now, if it won't let you do it, then you know there's geometry issues. So I'm going to hold B, click and drag to the left to make this brush smaller. Do that a whole bunch of times. There we go. And I'm just going to kind of brush, and what you're going to see is it's automatically going to try and spread the love. Now, over here it's mostly fine. This isn't too jumbled up, but it'll try to make the geometry more even. Down here, I'm going to make this smaller. See, it's not too awful bad. But up here, it's going to be super helpful. So I'll make this a little bit bigger. And what you're going to see is it's going to kind of keep pushing that stupid Windows button. It's going to kind of even out the geometry. Okay? And we'll call that good. All right? So what I'm looking for you to have when you are done is that you should have, I'm going to do this real quick too, mesh display, and we're just going to do soft and edge so that way it's all the same. I'm looking for you to have, this neck looks a little weird. Hang on one second. Sorry, it's bothering me. Like that, and Q, and let's just scale this in so it's a little bit more like a neck. Okay. I'm looking for you just to have all the main elements. So if you look at, my guy doesn't really have too much beyond what you see here. Like anything that's kind of coming off that breaks the silhouette. All right. So technically I probably should have his ear, but I'm just going to sculpt it. I think that'll be fine. But I just want you to have a base shape to work from. So if you're doing a humanoid, do a humanoid. But if you're doing something else, then you'd want to do that as well. There are n-gons and things like that, such as our tries. I don't think I have any n-gons, but there are some tries, which normally we try to avoid. If we do have to do them, then we try to put them in like a less obvious area. But this should mostly be okay. We're just looking for the general silhouette of the figure. Obviously, I don't have the nose or the eyes or anything like that. I'm not going to be too concerned. I'm mostly worried about just trying to get this body okay. The face we'll have to mostly try to sculpt, and we'll cover that in the next tutorial. But I just wanted to do a little bit of that. So if you want to use these other sculpting tools to kind of like push and pull things a little bit, like the regular sculpt here, like, oops. So M is the strength. So if you hit M, it's, I think, magnitude. Okay, so M. And then B is the how large it is. So think BM, bowel movement. So I'm just going to go like that. And then you can see we can kind of, add some. If I hold Control, it will go inwards. Instead, it does the opposite. If you hold Shift, it's smooth. All right. So if you want to try and do this a little bit, don't go too high poly. Like this is about roughly where I want it to be, because when we go into Mudbox, we will subdivide it there. So as low poly as you can get while still maintaining the generalized form. All right. So we'll call this good for this assignment. Just a rough layout of the general character. Do not get like bogged down by details, just things that represent the silhouette. If I were to take this guy and make it all black, would this be a visual representation of that? That's what I want, okay? So yeah, that's it. Good luck.